Hey guys, I'm back again. This time with some goodies from last night's 90th Academy Awards. 90. Wow. Almost as old as John Williams, right? Anyway, this is going to be more of a musical recap, not musical as in I'm going to sing my vlog. No, I'm not. I'm not going to force you to listen to that. Anyway, but more so as I'm going to be focusing on the Best Original Song nominees and the Best Original Score nominees, and winners, of course. As I previously said before, this is primarily a music blog, so that's why those are the only two categories I'm talking about. Now, I do have a disclaimer. I have not seen all the movies on the Academy Awards list this year. I am poor. I can't afford movie tickets. I go see them when they go in the dollar theaters, or if it's something important to me, like I see a lot of comic book movies. I don't see a lot of movies that get nominated. So there's that. But I did research on the individuals that were recognized in these categories, so I do have some information on that, some fun facts, if you will. And I'm excited to share them with you. I'm going to go out of order and start with Best Original Song nominees. The nominees were the song Mighty River by Mary J. Blige and Raphael Saadiq and Tara Stinson. And that's from the movie Mudbound. And then, and if I butcher these names, I apologize. I'm bad with names. And the next one was Stand Up for Something. The music was by Diane Warren, lyrics by Lonnie R. Lynn and Diane Warren, and that's from the movie Marshall. The third one was Mystery of Love by Sufjan Stevens from the movie Call Me By Your Name. That one looks really interesting to me, just throwing that out there. I'm probably going to end up renting that one or something. Most of these I'm probably going to end up renting after seeing how much, the Academy recognized them and how, controversial a lot of these movies are and stuff. And I like things that tug on my heartstrings, so there's that too. Anyway, This Is Me by Benj Pasek and Justin Paul. And that's from The Greatest Showman, which I didn't know was a musical until last night, so there's that. Definitely need to get the soundtrack now. And then, last but not least, Remember Me by Kristen Anderson Lopez and Robert Lopez, and that's from the movie Coco. So, the winner was Remember Me. And a little bit about the winner's biography. Well, they're the same writers and composers of Let It Go, so this is their second Oscar nominations. They brought their daughters to the Academy Awards, which I thought was the cutest thing. They zoomed in on their daughters during their speech, and they were all, like, smiling and stuff. Yay, mom and dad. But they ended up dedicating the award to Robert's late mother. And as many of the actresses and actors did during these Oscars, they mentioned diversity and gender representation in their speech, though it was only 1 minute and 47 seconds long. They kept it short, but they made sure to mention that and mention that it was about equal in that category as far as gender representation was concerned, which is pretty cool. As you know, the musical world has been ruled by men for many, many moons, and the fact that that's changing makes us women composers very excited, very hopeful for the future. So that's just something that I thought was really cool that they mentioned, and very cool that a lot of women composers were, nominated in this particular series, in this particular subject, or original songs, yes. So about Mighty River, it was introduced by Taraji P. Henson, who said that the song was about the pain of life. And when Mary J. Blige, I think, was the one that performed it. I'm not familiar with her. I'm not familiar with her works. I know that she got multiple nominations, which is pretty cool. It was like a historical thing, like first time a woman has been nominated in more than one category, something like that. I remember them briefly saying it. I don't know. I was in a popcorn stupor by that point in the Academy Awards. I hate that the music is always toward the end, but I understand because they have to have everyone perform the songs before they get to the original song nominees. So there's that. Anyway, she did a great job. It was very moving, very touching. I think every performance in this Academy Awards was spot on. I don't think anybody did a bad job, which I can't say for past Academy Award performances. I really can't. I personally thought Idina Menzel did a horrible job singing Let It Go when Let It Go was nominated. That's my personal opinion. I know people that have the exact same opinion, you know, and then I think that, what's her name from Moana? I can't pronounce her name. Auli. I'm not even going to try because I don't want to disrespect her name. I think she did an amazing job, and she was only, what, 16, 17? Young. And she was just amazing, even when she got hit over the head with a flag. Yeah, it was awesome. So, yeah, I don't think there were any bad performances in this Academy Awards, which is, once again, awesome. Okay, back to the people. For Stand Up for Something, Common and Diane Warren said that this will not be their last musical project done together, which is really exciting because they did an amazing job, as I said before, multiple times, in their performance. And then in The Mystery of Love by Sufjan Stevens, I thought it was cool that it was performed by the composer. I would have done the same thing. I have a lot of songs that I feel like they're very personal and only I can perform them. So I thought that was cool that he did that. Hans Zimmer does that, you know, and it's just so cool to me, you know. Who else does that? A lot of composers are doing that nowadays. Because when in the past, you have to be an instrumentalist first before you're a composer. Now, you know, there's technology and stuff to teach you how to compose without even knowing how to really read music, without really knowing how to, you know, you just type. Yeah, it's cheating. Anyway, but, that was really cool to me that he just got up from underneath the stage and performed that little number right there. That was really cool. Also, I think it was cool that they moved the orchestra under the stage again, because that year that they had the full orchestra in the building across from the Academy Awards and they were live streaming the orchestral sounds and stuff, I feel like there were a lot of problems with that, and there were a lot of issues that could have been solved by just making room for the orchestra under the stage. I'm going to pause this real quick because that was my mom calling. Sorry for the interruption. I'm back. Okay, so next, This Is Me, performed by, goodness, what is her name? Let me look that up real quick. See, I don't know enough about these movies really to be talking about them, but honestly, Kiala Settle. We're gonna go with that. Anyway, she was amazing. I was crying and crying and crying. That was the only one that I cried to. But while she was singing and I was listening to the words, and I was just so inspired and so, oh my goodness, I want to see that movie so bad. I can't wait. We definitely have Pasek and Paul to thank for that. They are a well-known American songwriting duo. Their past works include A Christmas Story, Dogfight, and James and the Giant Peach, if you didn't know. It's pretty cool. And I look forward to more awesome things from them in the future, you know. And maybe they'll get their award next time, you know. I find, and I'm going to have a lot of haters on this comment, but I find that if a Disney movie is a musical movie and they have a good song in it, even if it's not to the point of Let It Go or to the standards of, you know, How Far I'll Go from Moana, or, you know, You're Welcome, or whatever songs were nominated from that movie. I remember being very, very wine drunk during those Academy Awards, so I don't remember much of those, except for her performance. I remember that. Not that you needed to know that, but yeah. We always do a party at my house, like a little get-together, for the Academy Awards, and this year it was just me, my mom, my sisters, and my grandmother, so it was a popcorn stupor, not a wine stupor this time, which is better, because I get to pay attention more, yeah! Anyway, so yeah, that's my spiel on the Best Original Song nominees. Now we get to talk about Best Original Score, my favorite part of the Academy Awards. Oh my goodness. This year's nominees were Dunkirk by Hans Zimmer, Phantom Thread by Johnny Greenwood, The Shape of Water by Alexandre Desplat, Star Wars The Last Jedi by John Williams, of course, and Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri by Carter Burwell. So, I'm going to talk a little bit about Alexandre Desplat first, since he was the winner this year. He is French. He's actually from Paris. So he's like a walking stereotype. It's pretty awesome. And he has received 9 nominations for an Academy Award total, which is pretty good. And he has won twice. The other time was for the Grand Budapest Hotel. Another movie on my list of things I need to see. I've never seen that one, and I've heard it's really good. And obviously the music is good, so I need to see it. Anyway, he's really an up-and-coming guy. He's had 6 Grammy nominations as well, winning for The King's Speech and once again for the Grand Budapest Hotel. He's done countless works for other well-known movies. Fun fact, he did the music for the last 2 Harry Potter movies, The Deathly Hallows Part 1 and 2, which of course was probably really hard to do because you had to end Harry Potter. Imagine trying to take a series that the first 3 movies were composed by John Williams, or the scores were composed by John Williams. You have to take that fact and end the series, and you have to end it on the right note, literally, or you're going to get a lot of haters. So that probably was a lot of pressure, but I think he did a great job. I cried and cried and cried at the end of that movie, but probably because I'm a big geek, not because of the music, but, you know, it could be because of the music too, you know. I mean, music just touches the soul in ways that you cannot, you know. Oh, that was so corny. I'm so sorry. Anyway, he's also done other big name films. I believe he did one of the Twilight films. I think New Moon. He might have done more than just New Moon, but I think he did that one, and then they got someone else to do the others. And that's all I have about him. He's really done well for himself. And the fact that he won in this category when John Williams and Hans Zimmer, you know, John Williams of Star Wars and Hans Zimmer of The Lion King, were nominated with him in that category. The fact that he beat them out, you know, that's amazing. And he should be incredibly proud of himself. He has really done well for himself. Just a little bit about the other composers, because everybody's a winner at the Academy Awards, in my opinion. Just a nomination is an award, in my opinion. Like, if I ever got nominated, it would be in this category, and it would be amazing. I've always wanted to be a film scorer since 7th grade, and I've always joked around with my mom, "You'll be my +1. We'll get you a Vera Wang gown," or Valentino, I think is what she said, actually. Valentino she wants to wear. And now she's lost enough, weight that she can wear Valentino. Anybody can wear Valentino. I mean, just adjust the dress to your size and shape and whatever. Anyway, back to the podcast. Or not podcast, vlog, because there's a difference. Anyway, about Hans Zimmer. He is German. If you couldn't tell by the name, Zimmer. Yes. He has composed music for over 150 films since the 1980s and has won for The Lion King. And then, he has won an Academy Award for The Lion King. Sorry, I can't read my own handwriting. And then Golden Globes for The Lion King and for Gladiator, which is my aunt's favorite work by him. And he recently did an amazing tour, world tour of his music, and it was fantastic. I will probably end up doing a vlog about that tour in the near future, just because, seeing him there at the Academy Awards, seeing his face, I remember seeing him live, and he's one of my favorite composers. He did Pirates of the Caribbean. Of course he's one of my favorite composers. I mean, come on. If y'all don't know, I'm obsessed with pirates. Now you know. Anyway. But, I cried and cried during that concert. It was just so good. I remember when Angels and Demons, he performed that. Another thing, he is a performing composer, as was Sufjan Stevens, yes, and stuff. He did his tour mostly on piano, but he also did some drums and some percussive instruments and guitar. It was very cool. Anyway, back to about his awards. He's also won 4 Grammys in his professional career, so that's a neat little fact right there. Johnny Greenwood. He is English from Oxford, if you will. He is, if you don't know, the lead guitarist and keyboardist of Radiohead. Radiohead's awesome. Look them up if you are unfamiliar with their work. Definitely a fan myself, so this was pretty cool when I saw his name on the list. He is a multi-instrumentalist, as most of these older gentlemen are in this category. And he scored 7 other movies other than Phantom Thread, so he's kind of new to the film score picture, but he's not new to the music scene at all, nor to the performance scene. So that's something very important to keep in mind. I have not heard Phantom Thread. Of the ones listed, I have listened to Dunkirk and Star Wars The Last Jedi. I have not even listened to the winner, The Shape of Water. I need to. But I've listened to the album for Dunkirk. Thought it was very good. Surprised it didn't win, but once again, I haven't listened to the winner, so there's that. And then, of course, Star Wars was Star Wars. You can't go wrong with Star Wars and John Williams and Popcorn and Rey and Kylo Ren and, Yoda and all those good people. Yeah. Or Jedi. Sorry, Jedi. Except for Kylo Ren. He's a Sith. ? Anyway, I don't even... He's a crybaby. That's what he is. Anyway, moving on. We've already talked about Alexander Desplat. Speaking of John Williams, he is an American film composer from Floral Park, New York. Has been nominated for 51 Academy Awards. Second only to Walt Disney. So, there's that. And out of that, he has won 5. In addition, he has won 7 British Academy Film Awards, as well as 24 Grammys. Once again, I mean, how can you be that successful and be so John Williams-y. He's not. I've never perceived him as a very he's a proud individual, but I've never seen him as, being very stuck up or anything, which goodness, how do you keep a small head when you won 24 Grammys, I mean, dang, 24! All right, anyway, and then 51 Academy Award nominations. I mean, that's amazing. I remember when they celebrated his 50th nomination last year. It was so cute with all the little droids and stuff, and he was so proud, you could tell. I was proud. I was like, yes, my hero. Him and Hans Zimmer are my role models. I've been told that my music is a little bit more like Hans Zimmer's than like Williams's, but I definitely utilize Williams and Holst and Stravinsky, and I observe their techniques in composition, and I listen to their orchestral patterns that they use and stuff like that. And I do a lot of John Williams studies because I think he takes a lot of the older composers, Holst, Stravinsky, Tchaikovsky, all those older composers, and makes their techniques his techniques, because, nowadays when we write music, we're copying people. But there's a way to copy people and make it your own. And I think John Williams does a better job at that than most composers. So that's bravo for him. Something I didn't know, I found this out while I was doing a little bit of research for this vlog. Williams' score to the 1977 Star Wars movie was presented by the American Film Institute as the greatest American film score of all time. Wow. I mean, go Star Wars. Just yes. Okay, enough John Williams praise. Let's talk about Carter Burwell. He is also an American film composer, also from New York, but he's from New York City, so he's a city boy. He's more than frequently collaborated with the Coen brothers. I think he's done most of their films except for like 2. So he's, 15 of their films it says here. So, and he got an Oscar for his score for Todd Haynes' film Carol in 2015. So he is up there with the, not only the nominees, but with the winners. So he has won. I don't think anybody on this list hasn't won, actually. Johnny Greenwood has not, but he's been nominated. So once again, a nomination is a win in my world. He's been nominated 2 times for an Academy Award. This is back to Carter Burwell. And 3 times for a Golden Globe. He did some well-known movies. He actually did Twilight, the first one. He is in charge of that very simple but lovely melody that was Bella's Lullaby. I know a lot of people were very disappointed when they heard that. They were like, oh, it's too simple, or oh, it's not what I imagined it to be when I read the book. But I feel like simplicity is better in most cases when you're trying to interpret a poorly written book's interpretation of a song. Yeah. That's probably why he did that. But I think he did a good interpretation of that. I enjoy Bella's Lullaby. I enjoy his score for The Blind Side as well. That was a good one. It's one of those that I call a convenient tearjerker score. It's not very complicated. It's not very out there, but it's got the push where you need the push in the action scenes, and it's got the pull where you need the pull in the sad, tear-jerking scenes. So it's a good score. It is a very good score. And once again, he's one of those up-and-coming composers, so definitely support him by going to see more Coen brother films, and support all these guys. all these men, and support your women composers as well. I can't wait to see the day that a woman is up there for Best Original Score. We've got women up there for Best Original Song, and that's great, but we have yet to have a woman be nominated for Best Original Score. And I know there are women composers out there because I am one of them, and because I just know there's someone out there that is going to take the cake one day. If it's me, cool. If it's not me, cool. I will be happy just to see a woman up there, you know. And once again, a nomination is a win. Just to see a woman nominated for Best Original Score would just be monumental to me, personally. Talking about diversity, talking about gender representation, I would love to see a African American up there for Best Original Score. You know, we've got French, German, English, American. We don't have Pakistani. We don't have Russian. I know we're kind of in a weird place with Russia right now, but I mean, I'm just saying, you know, definitely need to work on the diversity and gender representation in Best Original Score. It's not a bad thing that we have all white men in this category, but it's also not a good thing, you know? I mean, I don't know. I just, I want to see a woman win for an Academy Award for Best Original Score. There, I said it. I want to see a woman win for Best Original Score in the Academy Awards. One day, right? So, that's my spiel on original score, my fangirling about numerous composers and songwriters out there. Congratulations to everybody that was nominated once again. It was such a great show. I think there were a lot of heartfelt moments. I think there were a lot of, great moments in the in the show that definitely brought a tear to my eye. So that's my recap of the 90th Academy Awards. Hope you enjoyed this vlog. If you didn't, once again, feel free to downvote me, because I have people that will upvote me. But seriously, I mean, leave a comment if you have a disagreement with me. I would be happy to discuss it with you. If you are enjoying my nonsense, definitely subscribe, because there's going to be a lot more vlogs. I already told you I'm probably going to do a fangirl vlog about Hans Zimmer in the future, because Hans Zimmer. And yeah, like and subscribe, and y'all have a blessed day. Thank you.